And that's why hydration is key. What's going on, everybody? This is the Coverbandconfidential podcast, the podcast for cover band musicians and band leaders to learn how to rock more and suck less. In Atlanta, Georgia, I'm Adam Johnson.
In Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm Dan Ray.
How's it going, Dan?
Super good. I got some travel coming up that I'm looking forward to, and I got a gig coming up that I'm looking forward to, and some good stuff.
So, like, it's coming up, like the gig and the trip, right?
Well, yeah. So, which order are we going to do them in? Let's do them like this. So, 3 days ago, I got an email from a rando that had the manager of a place I've played at a lot, Pig Pounder Brewing, copied. And what the rando said was, hey, it's my husband's 40th birthday. And a long time back, the first time we ever went to Pig Pounder, you were there hosting karaoke. And I came up and sang. It was my first time singing since I was a child. And it rekindled in me this whole love for singing. And I've been all about karaoke ever since. And now it's my husband's 40th birthday. And wouldn't it be cool if you were available? And I am. So I'm going to be playing that gig. It's a private event at a place I load into and out of all the time, or did before the surgery. Very much feeling up for it. And it's going to be great. It's going to be super great.
Awesome.
So that's this Saturday. And super looking forward to it. And honored to have people who I don't know them, right? But they know me because they came to a thing and it impacted them. And it's super gratifying.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that I know that there was a lot of concern on your end about if I go away, will I still be known, in this world? Yeah. And so it's a good reminder there too that, like, hey,
people know you. Yeah. It's a thing.
You have made an impact, and it's long lasting. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
so is it just solo acoustic, or is it going to be karaoke?
No, live acoustic karaoke. Yeah.
Okay.
They do full karaoke, and so I need to make sure my karaoke app is running. It's been a while since I've touched it.
Yeah. In
theory, it is, but I haven't touched it in a while, so we'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, no gigs this week. We've got some stuff coming up in the following weeks. Now, this is a very busy week for other reasons, and we'll get into that a bit later. The main thing that's been going on is just like gear stuff, and I mean, who doesn't want to talk about that? So, I had mentioned months ago, and I do mean months, that we were having issues with one of our Sennheiser mics, and I was sending it off to Sennheiser to get it fixed. And I had to check because of reasons, and that was at the end of April. We'd done a fair amount of gigs, and I had, the format didn't necessitate me to be on a wireless mic, so it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was starting to become apparent. It's like, I kind of miss having that flexibility. So I was like, I wonder what's going on with my microphone. So I reached out to their customer support, and they were like, well, I don't have any record of it. We definitely received it. So let me talk with the warehouse and get back to you. And then like 5 days go by, and I get the automated response like, you haven't responded. And I was like, well, here's my response. I was waiting on y'all's response.
Right.
And so Brian, who's the head of their support crew, was like, hey, so we can't find it, but we're going to go ahead and send one out to you, because you've been waiting so patiently. So I'm like, cool. Awesome. The first thing that came in was a separate capsule, because they had the capsules in stock, but they didn't have the handset in stock. And so I got the handset first, and then the capsule first, and then I got notification that something had been shipped, and I was very excited. And I opened up that box, and wouldn't you know it, it was my original microphone with a bunch of paperwork that said that they weren't going to fix it. Oh. Because I had not responded to their replies. And I was like, that's weird. Yeah. Because I don't have any record of any of these things. So I go and I email my buddy Brian. I'm like, hey, Brian, I just got this, and it says this. I don't know about any of this stuff, and it's definitely not what you told me. What's going on? And he's like, don't worry about it. I got you. And sure enough, 2 days later, this showed up. Ooh. And so not only did I get a replacement mic, this is actually the 4th gen. I had a 3rd gen. So it's an upgraded, newer model that works with my existing system. New capsule. I forgot that these came with bags. I got a bag. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, so it's like I got the whole shebang here. Didn't cost me a penny. It just cost me 4 months of not being able to use it. And I'm sure that's worth something. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like that when there's no money changing hands in the moment. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, excellent.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Now, as far as things that have where money has changed hands, this also came in last week, and I was equally as excited about it. If you are watching this on the YouTube, and I suggest you might want to, I got a hard shell case for miscellaneous things, and this company, I think it's pronounced Eeylar, Eeylar. They sell some retro style cases. And this one happens to be an NES controller. Now, I went onto their website today to look at some of their other ones, and they also have they've got a hoverboard one. They've got a bunch of other ones. I will include a link for this if you are a TikTok user, because I got this through the TikTok shop. But I also reached out to them directly about getting a discount code, and I don't know where I am in that like affiliate approval process thing. But if that lands between now and when this episode is out, I will put both links in the show notes so that if you would like a retro style, this is a 22 inch case, like waterproof with the the big latches. It's got the pull out handle and stuff. So it's basically a Pelican 1510.
Yeah.
Except a Pelican 1510 is like $300-$400, and this was $150.
And looks like a Nintendo controller.
Yeah, plus it looks like a Nintendo controller. Yeah. So there's a couple things going for it. And the larger one they have is more like a rifle case. They've got a 38-inch one, which I did the math, would perfectly fit my Steinberger, my HX Stomp Rig, and another Steinberger if I felt so inclined to get one.
Wow.
So to be able to roll up to a gig with like a hoverboard case with like all of my 80s like nonsense guitars in them, it's pretty tempting.
It's pretty good.
So be on the lookout for that. But two very exciting pieces of gear coming through that will immediately get a bunch of use.
Cool.
On a related note, things that have gotten use and are out in the world now, the official review of the VX5 is up on our channel, and it's doing pretty well. There's just not a lot of information about it out in the marketplace currently. Yeah. So we kind of have a bit of an inside scoop on it. If you want to go check it out, it's on our YouTube channel. I can throw a link in the show notes as well. The TLDR is that it's great at a lot of things, and it's really bad at one thing. And that one thing might be the deal breaker, because I know that you were like, I think I'm going to be picking this up. And then I was like, hey, hang on a minute.
Yep. I'm thinking twice about that.
Yeah. So basically, if you need something that generates harmonies, this ain't it right now. And it was disappointing. And the demos, I think, speak for themselves. It's pretty clear that that's a shortcoming on this product as of right now.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, when I opened the box, it had firmware 1.0, and I had to update the firmware to 1.2 something in order to even access harmonies as an option, which means that this is like basically Rev 1 of this particular feature. The hope being that they will continue to improve on this, this particular part of the box, that it might get better. Everything else that it does is pretty stinking good.
But I mean, all that stuff in it has been in the Prime Core forever.
Fair.
I mean,
but I've
forever.
also
it's only a few months old, but it's not like it's a brand new thing just launched.
Yeah, but I also have seen things in their forums that the issues that I'm having with this unit are similar to issues that other people have had with that thing as well.
Totally.
So there's definitely some work to be done. But if you need something that is just primarily for, basic vocal effects and pitch correction, it does those things handily. And there might be some follow-up stuff that I do. Somebody had requested, like, well, what are your favorite presets? So I might do like a favorite preset deal. Now, I had joked this thing comes with like 100 presets. I was like, do you want me to go through every single one of them? Because I could ruin an entire day and do that.
Right.
If the demand's there. But a specific request of what are my favorite presets. So that might be something down the pike. But time will tell on that particular feature, but in the band setup, like we don't use the harmony function anyway, and the other stuff works great. So it will still be something that we're working on. And kind of as a part of that, I had this M1 Mac Mini sitting on my desk for a bajillion years, and I was like, I wonder if I could just remote into this thing and see how it runs Ableton. And so I've been stress testing that. And the Mac Mini Ableton prospect is very interesting because I found a guy online that was doing his band show off of two Mac Minis, doing like the redundancy thing in a rack, and then using the stage laptop, which he's running lights off of, to just kind of remote into them. And so that's what I've been working on, and it works. And so I'm going to continue to stress test it this week and see what I find.
Cool.
So lots of irons in the fire. We had also, a couple episodes ago, talked about live band karaoke and the prospect of having a regular gig. Well, that opportunity sort of presented itself again. So we are heavily considering picking something like that up and starting the painful process of automating. So there's just been a lot of movement in the logistics part of our show. So that's what I'm staring on the barrel of at the moment.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it as far as catching up goes. No reviews this week, and nothing else down the road there. So I want to talk about. This is one of those kind of philosophical things. This isn't necessarily about business or marketing or music or in the band sense. It's about things that I find challenging as a musician to do, and that is consuming live music as an audience person.
Yes.
Now, do you find yourself seeking out live music when you are out and about in the world?
Very rarely.
And why is that? Why do you feel like you may avoid it?
I think it's hard for me to enjoy live music as a pure consumer because I'm always listening halfway through a professional ear. I'm always comparing myself, which is never fun, or I'm always judging, which is also never. I mean, it's fun, but not in a way that feeds the person I want to be. Fun's probably not the word. It's, I don't know. It gratifies something that's not healthy, probably.
Right.
Whether they're good or bad judgments, either way, it's not great. So
sure.
I do find that I'm not frequently out there in the world listening to live music. It's not often.
Yeah. And what was the last like concert you went to? Like outside of like going to see like a local band play or whatever, but like concert that you have like you went to just as a fan?
Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
That was
who have not been on tour for a while.
Yeah, that was it was pre-COVID.
Yeah. And so I guess the follow-up question is like, when was the last time you saw a band that you hadn't heard before in a scenario outside of like local only stuff?
I mean, I think I've seen bands playing at things incidentally and kind of in some cases kind of hung out and enjoyed them. There was somebody playing at a street festival in town here. They do Sunday night music at one of the parks, and I did catch somebody there. I couldn't tell you their name. They were good, soul, kind of blues, and I liked it, but it was incidental. I was passing by, happened to randomly be there. It was
Sure.
not something I sought out.
Yeah. And I think that is a symptom of the kind of work that we do.
Yeah.
But also just like season of life and, age, and it's hard to kind of keep that particular muscle flexible or, active.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy for us to just kind of like calcify our tastes and preferences and just kind of like live in the space that we are familiar with. I say all of that to say that this week is a very busy week for me because I'm doing a lot of live music consumption. My son has kind of grown an appreciation for different types of music and trying to be as encouraging of that as I possibly can. Unfortunately, part of that involves him really digging the Grateful Dead and jam bands in general. So I'm going to see Phish tomorrow.
Okay.
Now, I am not averse to Phish on its face. My guitar teacher, Eddie Wright, God rest his soul, after I learned my first guitar solo was Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, the very next week, he's like, we're learning Stash by Phish, which is like a 7.5 minute jazzy situation.
Yeah.
And I learned it. I can still kind of sort of play it. But that particular album, Picture of Nectar, was like one that I consumed and really liked.
Great
album.
And
they've got some bangers. Like, I can appreciate it. But the prospect of going to a Phish show is very different than listening to one of their CDs from the 90s.
That band in particular. I mean,
yes.
I will say two things right now that are in absolute diametric opposition to one another, which is I like Phish and I've never seen them live.
Yeah.
That band in particular, the live experience is really the thing. And their studio albums, which I really enjoy. Picture of Nectar is a great one. Yeah, that's not the Phish experience. That's sort of the background of information you need to go into the live experience.
Yes, it is the operating system.
Yeah, yes.
But it's not the application.
Right.
So we're going to experience that. Now, initially, it was a situation where like my brother-in-law and my sister they're huge into like Widespread Panic, but they, a jam band comes through town, they're going. Cool. So they were going to go, and it was like he knows all the people that are, have tickets or whatever. So I had agreed to doing like lawn seats, and it was going to be, $200 and whatever. Today, he's like, I had a buddy reach out and was like, hey, he had some extra tickets. It's about $75 more, but you would have, an assigned seat. You wouldn't have to be on the lawn. And I was like, okay, like that seems like an upgrade. I think that's worth the extra scratch.
Sure.
And he's like, cool. He's sending them to you now. And I open up my Ticketmaster app, and these are not assigned seats. They're actually general admission orchestra. So instead of being out on the lawn with everybody back there, we are right in front of the stage with all the people up there.
Yep.
So that's very different experience. And I'm not sure how I feel about it, but my son is stoked. He is like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, look, you'll get to see Trey doing his thing. That's
right.
The beauty. Right?
And I guarantee you it'll be fun, and there will be cool moments, and maybe they'll play a cool cover or whatever. But this is, again, very outside of my wheelhouse, not something I would normally go and consume.
Are you prepared to come back a total fish head?
I mean, I don't know. I am not concerned that I'm not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it is going to be challenging in lots of other ways. Mm-hmm. Mostly, like, as a person who is used to performing, being in a crowd is different and not always more enjoyable. I don't know.
Right.
It's so I'm not sure what the dynamic will be. Now, granted, like we're up front with like people shelled out serious money. So, it's going to be, it's not the same as like going to like a hardcore show.
It'll be the rich hippies.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the first part of our week. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have tickets to Shaky Knees, which is a 3-day festival with a very wide swath of music. So I think on Friday, it's going to be Sublime, Lenny Kravitz, Deftones, and one other group that I think we'll end up seeing in the mix. Saturday is like a free-for-all with My Chemical Romance headlining Saturday night. Cool. But the prospect there is that I'm going to get an opportunity to like see a bunch of bands that like I have not been exposed to before. And so kind of like really opening myself up to a lot of new stuff. And that's cool. It's something that like, again, not something I do regularly, but feel compelled to like lean into it, to like, make sure that I still have the capacity to accept change and newness.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, we also have VIP tickets to that, so I think I've just ruined my kid for life. He's just I got bougie kids.
Front row kid forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this, you get an exclusive lounge and your own section in front of the stage. Now it's not platinum VIP, because there's always got to be like a tier above whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Whatever. So, but we're staying in town and like doing the whole thing, and we're gonna festival as a trio, and yeah, I think this is something that ultimately is good for musicians to try and do every once in a while.
Yeah.
And not to go see something that like is in your wheelhouse. Like a bunch of guitar players show up to the, Big Rec comes through town. It's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're just there with a bunch of other guitar nerds. But like quote unquote popular music with, just the, I don't know, civilians.
Right.
And not having any of that kind of like musician experience. It's just, you're just there to like listen and watch and do the thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and hopefully get out of your own, how I'd be doing this, or how, I guess with acts like that, most of the bands we're in and talking to are not in that category, and they're sort of in the stratosphere above us. But when I catch a band out there, or a solo acoustic person somewhere, I really struggle to hear them for what they're doing, rather than hearing how I'd do it different, or what I'm listening for to steal.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to listen in a way that's not through the lens of the profession.
Sure. But like, I'm not worried about looking at things analytically. Like, I guarantee you I'll come back from that experience and be like, oh, they did this thing that like is super neat. Like that's something that we could try. Like I definitely feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's more about like, what's out there that is like new that I dig. Like I've already got the inside scoop on a couple of acts that I've never seen before and not super familiar with. Our buddy Alex, my artist rep friend, sent me a link to an artist named CMAT, and she just put out a record called Euro Country, and her music is phenomenal, and it, like, totally wasn't on my radar, but like, he was like, I think you would like this, I think you'd appreciate it. And she's playing at Shaky Knees, so we're definitely going to go check her out.
Cool.
And I was trying to explain it to Amber. I was like, it was like if Adele was Chappell Roan. She's like, so it's Chappell Roan music, but like Adele singing. Is like, yeah, like, so it's like, it sounds like Adele, but like, it's like if Adele, the person, made music the way that her personality was. Because like, you see her like in interviews and stuff, and she's like fun and like kind of quirky or whatever, but her music is like dead serious.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the polar opposite of that. So very interested in checking that out. And then like seeing bands I've never seen before. Alabama Shakes are on the bill on Sunday. Hoping I can catch that. Weird Al's on the bill on Sunday also.
Cool.
But like Bill Murray and My Chem, which I've never seen live before, and Devo and Johnny Marr, and like just
cool. Wow.
Very eclectic, like kick-ass lineup.
That's great.
So very excited about that. And if you are a gigging musician that like has not gone to see a show, I would challenge you to try and find an opportunity to go and see something you had like a little out of your wheelhouse, just to see what you think about it.
Yeah.
And trust that the folks in the Patreon Slack will hear about my my journeys this weekend as it happens. So
very cool.
That's it.
All right.
So there's your homework for this week, if you choose to accept it.
Get out of your wheelhouse.
Yes, indeed. Any parting words? Anything else you'd like to add?
No. Go get them.
Cool. It'll be a shorty this week.
I like a shorty.
And well, I mean, it's good because like there's a bunch of stuff going on, so it'll be quick to put together and quick to put out. So cool beans. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We love hearing from you. We got folks coming in from all over the place, new members of the Patreon community, joining the Slack and all that stuff. It's just, it's all gravy. And I think by this time next week, we will have crossed that 2 million mark. We're sitting at like 1.972, something like that. So it's just a matter of time. We're almost there.
Here we go.
Anywho, if you like sports show, you can do a number of things, but I'll go and call for this week. In Atlanta, Georgia, I am Adam Johnson.
In Greensboro, North Carolina, I'm Dan Ray.
You've been listening to the Coverbandconfidential podcast for the week of September 19th, 2025.